Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Microsoft commits its largest investment in Asia so far with $17.5 billion over the next 4 years for the nation's AI-first future, following a discussion with Prime Minister Modi. Parliament holds a special discussion on 150 years of India's national song Vande Mataram. Home Minister Amit Shah says it continues to hold the same importance even today as during the independence struggle. And in a world first, Australia's ban on the use of social media by 16-year-olds and younger comes into force from tonight. Global tech giant Microsoft has unveiled its largest ever investment in Asia, committing $17.5 billion over 4 years to accelerate India's artificial intelligence ambitions. The investment aims to strengthen India's AI-first future by building cloud and AI infrastructure, skilling programs and sovereign capabilities. Microsoft has said that a new investment will be used to continue to scale cloud and AI infrastructure, skilling initiatives and ongoing operations across India. One of the key priorities for Microsoft's investments is building secure, sovereign-ready, hyperscale infrastructure to enable AI adoption in India. Microsoft has said it will also continue to expand 3 existing operational data center regions in Chennai, Hyderabad and Pune. And in response to Satya Nadella's post on social media platform X, Prime Minister Modi has expressed hope that the youth of India will harness this opportunity. The PM wrote, and I quote, "When it comes to AI, the world is optimistic about India. Had a very productive discussion with Mr. Satya Nadella. Happy to see India being the place where Microsoft will make its largest ever investment in Asia. The youth of India will harness this opportunity to innovate and leverage the power of AI for a better planet." Unquote. Let me now take you across to DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya for more on this. Tapas, how significant is this in terms of this major IT major, tech major from the US, a global giant in not only technology in terms of digital infrastructure and others, but also now artificial intelligence, committing such a huge investment in India?
That's huge, actually. Gautam, if you have to take a close look at how, the kind of money that Microsoft and, for that matter, other companies are trying to pour in. They see India as not just as a computing hub, but an AI hub. In fact, before the $17.5 billion investment, their largest investment in the whole Asia, Microsoft was in India. Last time they had a $3 billion investment, and remember they are working on the largest hyperscale presence in India, and with they believe that by 2026 they are expected to get that going also. And the $75 billion investment that will go on for in the next from 2026 to 2029. So that's the 4-year span here they have decided to invest in the next 4 years. And they also believe that by 2030, they are expected to double the skilling commitment also. That for that, they have already mentioned that by 2030, they will have 20 million skilled personnel to handle these hyperscale situations. So that's one part of it. Then also, they believe that by this particular investment will also help India's national e-shram and national career service program platforms also. So they will be investing almost 310 million informal workers will benefit from this particular investment that we are talking about. So that will help the people who are planning to get a career service, e-shram that we all know about. So all these platforms that government of India will benefit from the kind of investment that Satya Nadella and Microsoft are planning to get in the country.
Right. And apart from Microsoft, Tapas, of late we've seen a lot of initiatives, not only investments being made by international majors, but also initiatives being taken by homegrown companies itself to build on this AI future that India is looking ahead to.
Yes, in fact, I remember very well, Gautam, you yourself have interviewed few people who were working on AI and cloud computing. In fact, Microsoft will be, they will be working in Hyderabad. They are set to go live in Hyderabad mid 2026, and they are expected to have make significant progress at South Central cloud in India South Central cloud region that will come up in Hyderabad, and this will be their largest hyperscale workforce in the country. In fact, if you take a close look at how that's going to be, the size that we are talking about, they're saying that it will be equivalent to two Eden Garden. I'm sure you have fond memories of Eden Garden in Kolkata. So you keep two Eden Gardens together, and that's the kind of size that we are talking about. And they're also saying that they will also expand their data centers in places like Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune. So it's not just big metropolitan cities that are getting the bulk of the investment, but places like Pune, Hyderabad, they are also getting a massive boost when it comes to them. We were told that places like Noida, Gurugram will also be given major push in that. So OpenAI services, eShram, all these, the national career services, they will all be given a major boost. They will now be offered enhanced features. There will be multilingual access will be given. AI-assisted job matching will be provided with all these AI and cloud computing scenario that they are coming out with. So they believe that if Microsoft has to grow, they believe that Asia is a place, and in Asia they are betting big on India to lead from the front, to provide leadership to the world, not just to Asia and South Asia, but to the world.
Right, right. All right, sounds great, Tapas. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment. Now, in international updates, Ukraine has prepared a new peace plan, which it's presenting to EU countries, and will share a revised peace plan with the US, which is aimed at ending the conflict with Russia. Now, this has happened after Zelensky held talks with leaders of 3 countries from France, Germany and Britain in London. As the conflict nears its 4-year mark, Kyiv, under pressure from the White House to agree quickly to a peace settlement, wants to balance out a US-backed draft, which was widely seen to be favorable to Moscow. Zelensky also met European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa. He described his meeting with the 2 EU institution chiefs as well as NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte as good and productive. Leaders from Estonia, Finland, Ireland, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland and Sweden have urged the European Union to move quickly with a stalled proposal to use Russia's frozen assets to provide funds for Ukraine. Russia's top general Valery Gerasimov has said on Tuesday that Moscow's forces have been advancing along the entire front line in Ukraine and have been targeting surrounded Ukrainian troops in the town of Mirnorad. In a command post meeting with officers of the center grouping, Gerasimov said President Vladimir Putin had ordered the defeat of Ukrainian forces in Mirnorad, a town with a pre-war population of some 46,000 people to the east of Pokrovsk in Ukraine's Donetsk region. Gerasimov said Russian forces had taken control of more than 30% of Mirnorad's buildings. Also, the Kremlin said on Tuesday that European claims that Russian President Putin wanted to restore the Soviet Union were wrong, and that claims Putin plans to invade a NATO member were also absolutely rubbish.
Vladimir
Putin does not want to restore the USSR because it is impossible, and he himself repeatedly spoke about it, saying such things means disrespecting our partners and allies in the CIS, the more advanced integration structure. As for Russia's preparations to attack NATO, this is absolute rubbish. Once again, I call on everybody to listen to the original source, which is our President Putin.
And Zelensky also met Pope Leo at the Vatican on Tuesday and stressed the need to continue with dialogue aimed at just and lasting peace. The Pope reiterated the need for the continuation of dialogue and expressed his urgent desire that the current diplomatic initiatives bring about a just and lasting peace. In addition, the questions of prisoners of war and the need to assure the return of Ukrainian children to their families were also discussed, which has been mediated between Kyiv and Moscow as well. U.S. President Donald Trump will be hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on the 29th of December, according to an Israeli government spokesperson. The Prime Minister's office on the 1st of December said that Trump had invited Netanyahu to the White House in the near future, although a date for the visit was not yet made public. The announcement came a day after Netanyahu said he expected to discuss the second phase of the ceasefire in Gaza with Trump, as well as opportunities for peace in the region. Netanyahu said on Sunday that the second phase of the U.S. plan to end the conflict in Gaza was close, but cautioned several key issues still needed to be resolved, including whether a multinational security force would be deployed. Netanyahu said that he would discuss with Trump how to bring an end to the Hamas's rule in Gaza. A ceasefire between Israel and the Hamas is entering its second month, although both the sides have repeatedly accused each other of violating the truce agreement. Now, shifting focus to the Asia Pacific, Australia has become the world's first country to ban social media for children under the age of 16, blocking them from platforms including TikTok, Alphabet's YouTube, and Meta's Instagram and Facebook. Prasar Bharati has more.
Australia's young teenagers are now spared from endless scrolling online, all thanks to a landmark law passed in November 2024, which comes into effect. The Online Safety Amendment Social Media Minimum Age Bill 2024 bars children under 16 from having social media accounts on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese made a last ditch pitch to convince hundreds of thousands of Australian adolescents that the law was for their own good.
You'll know better than anyone what it's like growing up with algorithms, endless speeds, and the pressure that can come with that. That's why we've taken this step to support you.
Many Australian teenagers, though, feel otherwise.
I'm gonna miss like leaks about games, like new games coming out or new things for games that I play. I don't know. I might maybe cry because like losing connection with my friends, with ones that I've talked to, like I've had since I was young, or like ones that I met a couple years after when I was in kindy, pre-primary and stuff.
Government is certain about the imperativeness of weaning the under 16s from the mild screens.
Above all, make the most of the school holidays coming up. Rather than spending it scrolling on your phone, start a new sport, learn a new instrument, or read that book that's been sitting there on your shelf for some time. And importantly, spend quality time with your friends and your family, face to face.
Companies that fail to comply could face penalties of up to $32.8 million. Meta's Instagram, Facebook, and Thread began deactivating accounts from December 4th. The law received harsh criticism from major technology companies but was praised by parents and child advocates. Online discussion site Reddit condemned the social media ban but said it would comply with the landmark crackdown. Governments from Denmark to Malaysia and even some states in the US are planning similar steps. 4 years after a leak of internal Meta documents showed the company knew its products contributed to body image problems and suicidal thoughts among teenagers, while it publicly denied the link existed. With agency inputs, Tripti Tripaঠি's report for DD India.
Cambodia and Thailand on Tuesday accused each other's forces of violating the 26th of October ceasefire agreement, with Phnom Penh confirming the deaths of at least 7 of its citizens amid claims by local media of a new air raid by Thai F-16 jets. The Cambodian Defense Ministry claimed 7 civilian deaths and several injuries in the latest border clashes, which began on Monday, while Bangkok, in a counterclaim, reports that houses were damaged by cross-border artillery shelling. In Phnom Penh, Defense Ministry spokeswoman accused the Thai forces of aggressive military operations by Thai forces on Cambodian territory. The spokesperson condemned what she described as inhumane and brutal acts and accused Thai forces of violating the ceasefire and joint declaration signed by both Prime Ministers on the 26th of October in the presence of US President Donald Trump and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. The Cambodian daily Khmer Times reported that the Thai military used F-16 fighter jets and dropped bombs in the center of Samrong City, Odar Minche province. Let's now take a look at some other stories making news around the world as well. Italy, famed for pasta, pizza and tiramisu, is awaiting a crucial UNESCO decision which could grant its cuisine intangible cultural heritage status. A preliminary review on the 10th of November offered a positive first nod, but the final call lies with the Intergovernmental Committee, which can still overturn the recommendation. In Stockholm City Hall kitchen, top chefs are crafting a secret menu dinner for scientists and royalty attending this week's Nobel Prize banquet. Over 40 chefs are preparing the three-course feast for laureates, their families, Sweden's royal family and prominent national figures. Now, this year is on track to become the world's second or third warmest on record, likely just behind 2024's unprecedented heat, according to the EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service. Scientists say natural weather patterns cause yearly variations, but long-term data shows a clear and accelerating warming trend. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. The centre orders 10% cut in IndiGo's operations to reduce cancellations. The International Olympic Committee holds executive board meeting at Olympic House in Switzerland.
This week on Defence Dynamics, India's battlefield gets a boost with new indigenous unmanned ground vehicles for mine warfare and frontline support. In geopolitics, we decode Asia's most volatile triangle, China, Japan and Taiwan, and why it matters now more than ever. We also ask the central question, shaping Asia's future. What does China really want? And in My Take, we look at Asim Munir's elevation as Pakistan's Chief of Defence Forces and his regional fallout. Catch it all on Defence Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
Dr. Shashi Tharoor, welcome to Moscow. How crucial was Russia's support in India's early decades?
Mr. Khrushchev in particular opened up Indo-Soviet relations phenomenally. They helped India in everything from setting up the Bhilai steel plant to the whole business of cooperating with India's space programs. All sorts of things happened. The extraordinary success of the BrahMos missile. The Bra comes from the Indian Brahma and the Mos comes from Moscow.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, the winter session of India's Parliament has been underway. The Rajya Sabha has taken up the special discussion on 150 years of Vande Mataram, India's national song. Union Home Minister Amit Shah opened the discussion in the upper house. He spoke at length about the historical and cultural importance of the national song. Other senior leaders from the BJP have also been speaking on the issue, while from the opposition, Congress leader Mallikarjun Kharge also spoke on the matter. The Rajya Sabha has allotted 10 hours for the discussion on the matter. And speaking in the upper house, Home Minister Amit Shah said that discussion over Vande Mataram in both the houses will help future generations understand its true importance and glory.
वंदे मातरम पर चर्चा की जरूरत, वंदे मातरम के प्रति समर्पण की जरूरत, वंदे मातरम बना तब भी थी, आजादी के आंदोलन के वक्त भी थी, आज भी है, और जब 2047 महान भारत की रचना होगी तब भी रहे, क्योंकि अमर कृति मां भारती के प्रति, भारत माता के प्रति समर्पण, भक्ति और कर्तव्य के भाव जागृत करने वाली कृति है.
The Lok Sabha, that is the lower house, also debated on the special intensive revision of electoral rolls as part of the discussion on electoral reforms. Congress MP Manish Tiwari initiated the discussion on election reforms in the Lok Sabha. Other speakers included Sanjay Jaiswal from the BJP and the Samajwadi Party's Akhilesh Yadav. The Lok Sabha has allotted 10 hours for the discussion on SEER and electoral reforms, and both the houses of parliament are expected to function till late into the night tonight. Now, in the wake of disruptions across airports nationwide, the Civil Aviation Ministry has ordered IndiGo to curtail 10% of its operations, doubling it from 5% cut ordered earlier. Following a meeting between Union Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, Secretary Sameer Sinha and IndiGo CEO Peter Elbers in New Delhi on Tuesday, as part of measures to curb the airline's soaring cancellations. Following the order, IndiGo said it will continue to serve all destinations while complying with the 10% curtailment of operations mandated by the ministry. The airline operated over 2,000 daily flights, and this cut translates into about 216 fewer flights. Earlier, speaking in the lower house of parliament, Union Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu said that disruptions caused by IndiGo's failure are now heading towards stabilization. The minister firmly added that no airline will be permitted to cause such hardship to passengers in future.
No airline, however large, will be permitted to cause such hardship to passengers through planning failures, non-compliance or non-adherence to statutory provisions. Honorable Speaker, sir, safety in civil aviation is completely non-negotiable. I would like to inform this august House that the disruption caused by IndiGo's recent operational failures is now rapidly stabilizing. IndiGo's daily flights, which had fallen drastically to 706 on 5th of December, have recovered to over 1,800 flights yesterday and are expected to rise further today. All other airlines continue to operate smoothly across the country, and the airports are reporting normal conditions without crowding or distress. Refunds, baggage tracing, and passenger support measures remain under continuous supervision by the ministry. At the same time, accountability will be ensured.
Union Minister for State for Environment Kirti Vardhan Singh reached Kenya on Tuesday to participate in the 7th session of the United Nations Environment Assembly, which opened in Nairobi a day earlier. Singh said he looks forward to the crucial conference as the world faces a growing ecological crisis, reaffirming India's commitment to strengthening environmental conservation efforts and advancing sustainable policies at UNEP. During his visit, the minister will attend multiple UNEA sessions and hold engagements with heads of state and representatives of international organizations on the sidelines. In Sri Lanka, Gita Mahotsav was celebrated with devotion and cultural splendor at the Parliamentary Theatre of the University of Visual and Performing Arts in Colombo. The evening featured a Kanyadan dance presentation by Ravi Bandhu, Samanti Dance Ensemble, Bharatanatyam recitals by Natakala Mandir, and a thematic production by students of the Swami Viparananda Institute of Aesthetic Studies. The program highlighted the timeless teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and strengthened cultural ties between India and Sri Lanka.
The great chronicle Mahavansa. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also inscribed in the UNESCO's Memory of the World Register, that documentary heritage, which recognizes documents of outstanding cultural, historical, and universal value. So it has been recognized recently by UNESCO.
Time now for some sporting updates. In South Africa's captain, Aiden Markram, won the toss and opted to bowl against India in the first T20I at Cuttack. South Africa fast bowler Lungi Ngidi dismissed both Indian captain Suryakumar Yadav and vice-captain Shubman Gill during the power play. The Proteas added the pressure on hosts as Luther Sipamla dismissed big hitter Abhishek Sharma in the 7th over, while Shubman Gill and Hardik Pandya returned to the side. Sanju Samson, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav and Harshit Rana are the ones who've missed out. Pacer Jasprit Bumrah is just 1 wicket away from becoming the first ever Indian bowler to scalp 100 international wickets in all 3 formats. On the other hand, South Africa have gone with 4 fast bowlers and Keshav Maharaj as the lone spinner, with Donovan Ferreira as a part-time bowler. At the moment, India are at 75 for 3 wickets in 10.3 overs in the match. So a bit under the pump with Akshar Patel and Tilak Verma at the crease. Now, the International Olympic Committee held an executive board meeting on Tuesday at Olympic House in Lausanne in Switzerland. During the meeting, the board received updates on the activities of the Olympic movement as well as reports from the organizing committees for upcoming editions of the Olympic Games. IOC President Christy Coventry said it was a busy time for the governing body as Milano Cortina Winter Games take place in a few months. The Games will be co-hosted by Milan and the Dolomite Resort of Cortina d'Ampezzo from the 6th to the 22nd of February. Italy last hosted the Winter Olympics in 2006 in Turin. And England's fast bowler Mark Wood has been ruled out for the rest of the Ashes series ahead of the second test match at Adelaide. Wood returned to action in the first test at Perth after surgery kept him out for 8 months, only to miss the second match after his left knee flared up again. Wood will be replaced in the squad by Matthew Fisher, who won his only test cap on a tour of the West Indies in 2022. Fisher was part of the second-string England Lions squad in Australia. And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen to download the app right now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.